Welcome back. I've got the Compaq LTE 5280 out today. We're going to be using this laptop to demonstrate a copy of Electronic Arts Xtreme Pinball that I bought from a thrift store. I have a small collection of Windows laptops. This is one of my favorite ones. As I mentioned in previous videos, this laptop has been fully restored. I bought some parts machines and I managed to get this thing to almost as good to as new condition as I could possibly get. I've replaced the status icon bar or LCD display down here at least twice. And I found one that has most of its icons still functioning. It has its original 1.3 gig hard drive, 80 megabytes of RAM. This is a Pentium 150. I believe it's an MMX processor in this one. And yeah, it's in otherwise pretty good shape. This is a Compaq was one of those manufacturers that continued to use beige plastic well into the late 90s for their business grade laptops anyway. The one thing wrong with this laptop is the clock battery is not only dead, but it's no longer installed. The battery began to leak, so I took it out before it caused any damage. It does have the very rare cd-rom drive option, so the fact that this game is on CD is not a problem. This is a 24x drive. It could be an 8x. I don't recall exactly which one was in here, but put our game in there. I'm running Windows 95 Plus, and this game was meant for DOS and Windows 95 alike. So sorry for the glare. Another thing I like about this laptop is it has one of the best built-in sound systems of any laptop from its time period, even better than some laptops made today. These speakers, because the display housing is so thick, these speakers have a nice resonating chamber behind them. So they produce excellent sound, very clear, and pretty deep bass, actually. When I was growing up, one of my best friends actually had one of these laptops, same exact one, almost. It was a 5150. This is a 5180, 5280. Anyway, that laptop was used for a lot of our middle school and early high school parties as a jukebox. It had great sound, and but yeah, not much else to say about it. Let's go ahead and start this game. So, let's open up the D drive. We will now install the game. Now I got to make sure I have enough hard drive space. I've got 500 megs free, which isn't so bad for 1997 standards, but for today's standards that would be a serious problem. We'll install it in drive C, full install. Requires 12 megabytes. Okay, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. This laptop, by the way, I do fully intend to rebuild the battery pack. I have 2 battery packs to choose from, and I've got one already torn apart, and I'm going to eventually rebuild that pack. I haven't gotten to it yet, and so that'll happen at some point, and I don't know why my camera light's on, but I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. Alright, installation has been completed. Oh, one of the other great things about the Compaq Compaq LTE is that it has a Sound Blaster 16 compatible sound card. I believe it's compatible. Let's see what it does. So we're going to set it to ultra high quality playback because we have a we have a Pentium processor, so that won't be an issue. Okay, now I believe this installed strictly in DOS, so it did not create an item menu in the start menu, so that's kind of how these things happen. So we're going to go ahead and start it from the either command prompt or from within Windows as a DOS box. So that would have installed under Xtreme for Xtreme Pinball. We're going to just do the Xtreme executable. There it goes. If we don't get sound, we have to run the configurator again. I don't hear sound. How's that look on camera? Not too bad. Oh, we have sound. Not sure if you guys can hear it or not. As loud as this thing goes. Begin. Well, this looks like it's going to be great. Ready, player one. Oh, you know what? I had a version of this, I think. So shift keys control the paddles. Spacebar should control the drawbar, but it doesn't do anything. Oh, that's tilt. Okay. Up, down arrow. I let that one go. I wonder if I can change the... Oh, check this out. There's like a dot matrix style display on the bottom to mimic the LED displays on the real pinball machines. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Ready, player one. There we go. I love the 80s-esque soundtrack. Now this game was released in 1989, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna... 1996. This particular version, so... Cool. So it's actually about the same age as this laptop is, which is pretty cool. Now, when it comes to gaming, I'm not a gamer at all. But arcade-style games I can actually enjoy. I don't really get into the role-playing stuff. I do enjoy some of those, like Doom was one of my favorites. But I was never much of a gamer, but the arcade-style games that are kind of good for people with short attention spans, like myself, they keep me entertained. In the rare instances I actually play them. And playing it on one of these old compacts is also pretty cool because, you know, Compaq was once the king of laptops. They were one of the best laptop makers you could buy from. It's amazing how times have really changed, and not for the better in that regard, but... I mean, now anybody can build a laptop. They're all pretty much copying each other these days, and it's really, you know, hard to find one that's better than the other in terms of build quality. Although it really isn't. But when you're paying over $5,000 for a laptop back in '97, which is about what this would have sold for, you know, you kind of hope you get something that's pretty well built. And all right, so let's see about. Select table. What tables does this have? Oh, okay, it changes here. So Monkey Mayhem, Medieval Knights, Rock Fantasy. There's like 4 tables here. Options. Music volume. Here we go. Stereo. Normal or reverse. Scoreboard color. I'm going to change it to something brighter so you can see it. Okay. Try a different table. Rock Fantasy. So that should look a little bit better on camera. was fun. Alright. Well, that was good. So that's pretty much it. Xtreme Pinball on a authentic compact from 1997. And I don't think I need the CD to play it, which is cool. A lot of older games were made that way, which is nice. Cool that I even have the box to go with it. This is the gold edition. Since we're here, let's see what else came in that box. Any goodies? Any mail-in supply stuff? Oh yes. Here we go. We've got a registration card here. Never filled out and never will be. I'm not so sure that would be beneficial to anyone. I've actually tried filling out these old cards before and nothing came of it. I think I filled one out and sent it in to Eagle Computer. Needless to say, I didn't hear back. Eagle Computer made the, they were making old CPM workstations back in the early 80s, late 70s or something like that. And I found one, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to send this in. And nothing ever happened. System requirements for this game, let's read that off. 486DX250, 4 meg of RAM, 1 meg hard disk space minimum. I think we're good there. Double speed CD-ROM and MSC DEX 2.21. That's the Microsoft CD-ROM extension. And a VGA video card. So basically, it'll run on just about anything, which is pretty cool. Except your grandma's old 386. Not going to happen. I had a very similar one. It was 3D Pinball something. It was kind of a knockoff of this product here. Pinball Wizard or something like that. I forget what it was called, but I bought it. It was like a shareware disc. I bought it from a small computer store, and I played that game on and off for years. And it was one of those expandable ones, so it came with one table, and you could add like a bunch of different ones, but you had to buy the expansion packs. But you got the game basically for free. You just had to pay to expand it. That's kind of how some shareware software worked. But actually, it wouldn't technically be shareware, would it? It was actually kind of a pseudo freeware, kind of like the games that we have today for our cell phones, where there's the in-app purchases. You get the game for free, but if you want to actually enjoy it, you have to pay money for different add-ons, and points, and coins, and blocks of dirt, and whatever else you've got to buy to play the games. Okay, that's it. I think I have nothing else to show you. So come back for more. I do have other pieces of software that I've been kind of hoarding over the years that I want to demonstrate. One of the ones I want to do something with is the Simpsons Cartoon Studio, and that'll be done on the iMac. What's this? Oh, I was wondering where that went. Now I find it. I found it. I found it. I found it. Found it. Okie dokie. Well, peace out.